The first extravaganza for the new format has come and gone, baby. And what's that? Cubics top? Oh, Profile Tuesday night, you say? Yeah. Cubics top 16. This is actually freaking wild. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more breakdowns like this. So we have the breakdown for top 16. I want to thank Akano for helping me put this together, and everybody else that helped contribute this information as well. I little diamond heart from me. I love you all. So we had 5 Eldritch variants in the top. From what I could gather, we had 4 Zulich and 1 Invoked Lich from this. Some of the variants, there was a Zoo Dogmatic Eldritch. Actually, there was a Zoo Eldritch Dragoon, alright? And then there was the Zoo there was the Invoked Lich, which we talked about, and just pure Zoo Lich. So, your combination of things right now is like, do you want to play a small Dogmatica package? Do you want to play the Dragoon package? Like, as long as you decide what your other few splashable cards are for the deck, as you can see, you can have success with literally any sort of variant with Zulich. So just kind of pick your poison and develop from there. Eldritch being the most represented deck and Top Cut was very interesting to see, actually. Now, Prank Kids had 3 decks in Top Cut. I did not expect this. Frickin' Hanko Chow ended up winning the event in first place. And you guys can end up seeing Hanko's list probably on TCG Player later on in the week as well for his article. That'll be something that you guys can check out. But 3 frickin' Prank Kids decks. What has happened? Prank Kids have just kind of been gaining that little bit of silent momentum. Evidently, just being able to use the big guy to pop and then, have it stay assembled on the field is actually insanity, actually. We also had 2 Invoked Shaddolls in Top Cut as the only other representedly large deck. Wind is pretty good, I heard. There's nothing else too much to say about that. So that wraps up your biggest represented decks. Now, the one-ofs here. Now, this is where things get interesting. So, Hanko won the event with Prank Kids. Second place, which we'll have the list for this later this afternoon, was actually Bill Way playing Going Second Sky Strikers. Or just Sky Striker in general. He did win 4 Winamats on Saturday with Striker, which definitely, I was actually kind of happy to see that. That was actually pretty cool, all things considered. We also had Emmanuel Lilly smashing through with frickin' Numeron again. Alright, I'm actually excited to continue to see this deck doing relatively well. I do wish, however, if I could draw Harvey Feather Duster and Red Reboot as much as that man does, I would be successful too. So that's very interesting. Fourth place ended up being Invoked Eldritch. That's your top 4. Now, the rest of the one-of category here, besides Striker and Numeron, we had 1 Dragon Link deck. We all predicted that Dragon Link was the craziest deck in the format. This deck just struck fear into players. And the boards that Dragon Link makes are very intimidating. Let's be honest here. I don't want to be on the receiving end of those boards because they're super ridiculous. But we only had 1 Dragon Link deck make it into Top Cut, and it was Giovanni that was playing. We'll have a list here in a second for that. But that really piqued my interest. I'm like, man, how the mighty have fallen. I've been seeing Dragon Link have this massive push here, and I assume post Ghost from the Past you're going to see the explosion of this deck reignite. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see where that goes. Now, we had also only 1 dinosaur in Top Cut here. Same thing with Dragon Link. Miscellaneous Ceresaurus is a heck of a card, but for some reason the players want to play other things. Is the meta not super defined? That's kind of what it's looking like right now. We also had 1 Unchained. I will have that list for you guys this afternoon as well. which the player had some really solid theories with that list. And then the end-all be-all here, Jet ended up topping 13th place, by the way. How cursed is this? 13th place playing Cubics, by the way. Yeah, haha. Quite interesting, to say the least. But Cubics screeched in the top cut, and tomorrow night I will have this list for you guys. I'm beyond excited for this. I have a whole breakdown of matches and history and stuff for you guys as well. So it'll be something that you guys will get the chance to talk about and see on Tuesday evening. So outside of that, I am very shocked by this breakdown. Only in regards to, I thought Dragon Link would have been so much higher in representation, but it just wasn't. And that shocks me. Eldritch numbers look about right. Praying Kids going up in numbers is also very interesting. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. And then the Rogue category is just looking very good. All right, so, and Striker, by the way. There's always one Striker deck that always does well in these events, and it always amazes me. All right, well, we're going to pass it on over for some deck profiles now. All right, the first list we have here is Ian Meltzer's 4th place list, and this is going to be your invoked package. Oh, look at that. We're playing the 1 Fleur-de-Lis. That's actually kind of spicy here, because this will be your spellcaster that you'll dump off of Magician Souls here. This is definitely that callback that we love to see to the earlier days, where we'd play Magician Souls with our little Eldritch package. We generate a whole bunch of free advantage, and then we would hide behind Mr. Macabre and win the game. There's nothing else too crazy to say about the main deck. They also get access to, Dragoon in this deck. I think that's the part that really scares me the most about this, is you have a nice consistent draw package. If really worse comes to worse, if you want to establish a Magician Soul, you can just yeet out your Dark Magician, because it does act as another spellcaster. It's not good. You shouldn't do that, but it is something that you could do, I guess, in dire situations. Outside of that, looking at this deck, this looks really straightforward. Also seeing the Old Elixir of Black Awakening and White Destiny here to combo off of the Magician Souls. It's very good. This deck definitely takes me back in a time capsule to a much earlier day here. Hey, look, it's Black Luster Soldier. It's like this card's a win con or something for this deck. And Barricade Borg Blocker. Ooh. Access to field spells. Outside that, yeah, I don't see anything too interesting. Hey, look, it's Nibiru. For a lot of people going, oh, hey, Nibiru's not very good this format. It's right here. All right. It's strange that people seem to think that, by the way. I don't understand it, but it's an interesting mentality to have. Also, he is playing Imperm, which was actually kind of interesting. All right, next up. 5th place here. This is Pack's list for everybody. And of course, if you guys aren't subbed to Pack's channel, you guys miss out on a lot of things. Especially, he covered this on his Twitch last night as well for you guys. If you were there, you got the chance to see it. So, we're packing in a lot more hand traps in this deck than you would really expect here. TC Boo is a heck of a card. Alright, I understand why Pack had success with this, just because of this. Keep in mind that all of your friends here are all different types, which means you can actually navigate underneath the TC Boo to punish your opponent. Also, flipping a TC Boo pretty much gets you game against Zulich players. Well, okay, so they can't conk you in the same turn that they Scarlet, because obviously they can only control 1 zombie. So at that point, you just stop all the interactions that they can kind of put at you. Also, as I said, hand trap central. Alright. Also, Ice Dragon's Prison in this deck is really... Well, actually, Ice Dragon's Prison, if you guys haven't seen, got bought out again. This is one of the best trap cards right now in the entire format. He's actually not citing the Praying Kids, Rip Roar, and Rooster, actually. We just have full access to it in the deck, which is actually pretty good. Alright, I don't see anything else to point out about this. Phantasme in the side deck for the draw power for when you're playing against the stupid Link matchups. Pretty straightforward. I actually really like Pack's list here. This is pretty good. Alright, next up, we have the only Dragon Link player in Top Cut. This was Giovanni Vasquez's, Vasquez 6th place. Jesus, man. Alright, so 6th place is pretty impressive here. There's the 2-chamber, the triple tiding. I think a lot of players are kind of starting to agree that 2 might be the best number for this. Playing 3 just kind of feels bad if you open up doubles, because that does take away a potential extender that you could have opened up in the place of it. Alright, Phantasmes for the draw power, absolutely. I see no problem with that. 42 cards also looks about right. The triple talons is kind of interesting. Also, Dark Ruler no more to break boards. One cool thing that this deck kind of has going for it is, yeah, if you don't kill your opponent, you just break their board. Alright, and I kind of feel like this card's more geared towards like the mirror match as well, but considering that there's no like mirror matches around him anywhere in Top Cut, which is kind of a little bit of a scary thing, all things considered. I also like the Imperial Order here in the side deck. Nothing else too crazy to point out about this list. I think everything looks pretty straightforward here. Alright, next up, this was Sean Pittman's list. Look at this. We're actually playing the one Cataroost, my hero. Oh my gosh. During either player's turn, when an opponent activates a monster effect that targets this card, you can detach one Exceed material from this card to negate that activation. We're frickin' playing Cataroost. I didn't actually think there'd be a time we do this, but alright. We have the Ash Blossoms down here for our other hand traps. Basic 10 card monster engine. I'm actually still can't believe we're playing Cataroost. One Bunny Blast is very standardized. Either you play it or you don't. Triple Book of Moon for further interactions, really good. Ooh, we're doing IP shenanigans down here. Spicy. Alright. I see this extra deck's a little bit more customized for the IP Unicorn play. I haven't seen that recently. Also, DD Ground's been kind of something that's been kind of working its way through the grapevine for more roguish decks. Like, this card will actually win you free games as a side deck option. Outside of that, it looks pretty standard for what you would expect. And then we have Caleb Venegas's list for you guys here. This is 40 card Praying Kids. So that was what? We had Hanko, Caleb, and then, Pack. Or all of your lists, and you'll have Pack's list on TCG Player. Look at this, by the way. See, they're thinking alike right now. They're like, oh, TC Boo's really good. The Solemn Strikes is definitely an interesting little add-on here. We are also packing very high amounts of hand traps. The big difference between this list and Pack's is just the extra 2 cards. And I guess you pick your poison for your other choices here. Alright, once again we have the Rip Roar and Rooster in the main deck. I saw a lot of people trying to side it. And I feel like it's just better here in the main. Also, we're playing the 2 Battling Butler versus Pack's 1, which is very interesting as well. I guess I understand. Yeah, Pack was on like 1-1-1 of these here. And you see here we have the 2 dedication across the board for these here. Not too bad, actually. I really do like these decks. So, guys, make sure you smash the little crap out subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on Unchained and all the other cool lists we'll have coming this afternoon, along with Numeron and Sky Striker. And then tomorrow night we will have Cubics for everybody. Isn't that super exciting? I can't wait. Alright, guys, let's see your beautiful faces back here later on the day for some more cool, awesome content. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.